Top of the morning to you. Broadcasting to you live from the Orion spiral arm of the Milky Way galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, no longer California, Los Angeles, to be pseudo-specific. My name is Brian Engelman. Today is Wednesday, September 24th, 2025, and this right here is Strictly Guardians on the Unhappy Hour Sports Show. People, you need to know that the Cleveland Guardians have the coolest story in sports right now. The Guardians were 15 and a half games out of first place not too long ago. I read a stat. The Guardians gained 4.5 games on the Tigers since Jimmy Kimmel's show has been suspended. 4.5 games is a lot. That requires not just you doing well, it requires the other team stumbling, and it's happening at the exact same time. I mean, it could not be happening. It's almost as though the entire life force has been drained out of Detroit. It's all that energy, all that winning energy has gone to this team, the Guardians. Yes, I'm wearing my Cleveland hat here. Whew. Love this team. I've been to so many games. I know it's a different team now, so it's not quite the same. You know, they doubled down. They really tried. They really tried to make it seem like nothing changed, but things did change, and it really did push a segment of the audience away. But look, set that aside for a second, because I'll never change my opinion on that, and I do want Chief Wahoo returned. I want the Indians brought back. At the very least, call them the Tribe, in honor of the whole situation that got us here, because we're just a tribe. We're a community that cares about each other. That's a cool story. Keep our logo. Work in the Guardian statue if you must. Have a couple of logos. But right now, the Guardians have been playing lights out baseball, and it's pitching. The starting pitching is absolutely through the roof, incredible right now. And this is after we traded away our former ace, Shane Bieber, Cy Young award-winning pitcher Shane Bieber, this season to the #1 seed Toronto Blue Jays, who we might be able to play again should we make the playoffs. I'll tell you what, we are streaking at the right time. We're 9-1 in our last 10 games. I don't know, was it 24-2 in our last 26, something like that. It's just a stretch of dominance at the exact same time the Tigers are not playing well at all. And that's fair, because you know what? So what? People want to make this about a Tigers collapse. No. If we didn't have our own 10-game slide earlier this year and our own gambling investigation that kicked the #1 reliever in baseball off of our team and probably out of the sport forever, intentionally throwing balls because people were betting on whether the first ball was going to be a ball. So they were placing bets on that. And that was our starting pitcher. Was he doing it last year in the playoffs? Playoffs against the Yankees, maybe. This team's been through a lot, and you want to talk about what they're going through. Ask David Fry what they're going through. And that poor dude. Ouch. He took a hit right to the face. They're saying it. I don't want to watch it again. But did it ever so slightly go off the bat, or did it go right to the face? I watched I watched a couple of angles. And from some angles it looks one way, and other angles it looks another way. And I'm not sure which one is the official version. What's up, Droopy Dog? Good morning. Cheers, everybody. Droopy Dog made us a mug. The New American Media. We'll do a $30 super chat. We'll get you a mug. You just have to send me your address, and we'll mail one of these out. How about that? That sound good, Droopy Dog? was super awesome. All right, let's take a look. Let's roll through. I got to be careful because I can't show you videos, and sports are really weird this way. Let's just roll through the world of sports. We can talk Cleveland Browns. We can talk Guardians. But look, the Guardians are in possession of first place in the American League Central. We own the tiebreaker now. Should have come down to like a tie record. That's actually our record. That's in our basket of tricks right now. The Blue Jays have clinched a spot. The Yankees have clinched a spot. And now it comes down to Cleveland, Detroit, Boston. Trying to figure out who goes next. Oh, Houston Astros are in the mix as well. Seattle has clinched in the West. So we got 2 games left against the Tigers, the Motor City Kitties. Yeah, show me like that. Where is this? This is weird. When I click on schedule, why would it tell me about something in September 23rd? Like, I want to see today's schedule. Why are they showing me that? Anyway, I'm pretty sure that we have 5 games left and we play the Tigers twice. Let me just click on the team. That was weird. Okay, this is weird too. The 25 schedule, they're showing it upside down too. You got to start back in 9/24. What is going on? Oh, sorry. Hold on. I'm looking for where it shows the rest of the season, and it's not doing the rest of the season is what I was trying to get at. 5-2 win yesterday. Massive win yesterday. Take a look at the box score real quick. Stephen Kwan, 2 hits. Schneeman, that big 2 RBI hit. Jose Ramirez with the ribby. Arias with the ribby. No long balls. I mean, there was that series where it went bunt, bunt, and then he snapped it through his legs like it was Ben Roethlisberger in the playoffs against the Browns. Scooble, man, he instantly reacted when that ball went into David Fry's face. The update, I've been seeing updates that there's facial fracture, observations at one facility, and then he was moved to a second facility. Prayers for David Fry, for competent medical staff, strength and comfort and healing, resolve, power. Amen. Send that stuff his way. Oh, he took the 99-mile-an-hour fastball to the face. That was rough. It's moments like this where I'm glad that I can't show you a replay. Gavin Williams improves to 12-5 on the season. Look at that. Scooble's 13-6. Gavin Williams 12-5. I mean, yeah, you look at Scooble, he's got a 2.21 ERA, but Williams has a 3.06 ERA. Our pitching has been lights out. It's just that you look at our batting average of our team and you just say, where are the people that can hit above 230, 250? This is normally 280 was kind of the Mendoza line. It's like, all right, 270. If you can hit 260, 250. Look, as you go down by tens, you have to hit a lot more home runs. You have to make it worth your time in the lineup. You want to be at 300 hitting more than 30 home runs. That's, I talk about 90s baseball. It's not the same. So you wonder, it's outside of Stephen Kwan, who has occasional pop, but he's not known as a power hitter. He's someone that can get you on base. Ramirez is definitely a stolen base guy and a home run guy. 30-40 club. Multiple times. He's in unique lists. He's creating new lists, this guy. He's a perennial MVP candidate, but it's like, who else is around him? You look at this lineup, it's like, oh my goodness. Where are we getting wins? And it's been from our pitching. We've been able to develop pitching. And it's been paying off when it counts in the playoffs. So get out to the game if you can. You got 5 home games in a row, 2 against the Tigers, 3 against the Rangers. I hope I was saying that right if I was saying that before. I was half thinking about it. I was half looking to click on the button to show you the remaining part of the schedule, but hold on. I know I'm capable of doing this, people. Click on the team. Okay, there's the schedule. All right, I want to see the schedule of let me click on the schedule. It's showing me July 18th. Okay, this is upside down. Let me scroll all the way to the bottom. Now's the schedule. All right. Wednesday, the 24th tonight, Tribe play the Tigers. Thursday, the 25th, Tribe play Detroit. Then Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's nonstop. Today, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There you go. Tonight's game is at 6:40 p.m. Go to the ballpark. It's Tanner Bybee versus Flaherty. Go do it. Then we got Messick, Allen, Saccone, and Cantillo. Cantillo or Cantillo? Please forgive yourself and give yourselves a little bit of grace if you don't know all the players on your team. Because there's a lot of things more important than sports. And a lot of people haven't been paying attention. But, also a lot of people say it's a long baseball season. If we reach September, late September, and my team's in it, I'm going to get caught up on things. And maybe I've been following from afar, but now I'm going to really pay attention because any year could be the year. Every single year could be the year that your team wins the championship. And that's why you play. That's why you do what you do. That's why we're fans. And there's so many great lessons that come from sports. I think we need to teach kids these lessons. We don't need to make football toxic or baseball toxic or it's too masculine or it's bred in circuses. It's totally pointless. You got to rage about politics all day. It's like, hold on. Wait, you guys are all wrong for different reasons. There are incredible life lessons that come out of sports. Perseverance and focus and the ability to be coached and how to handle adversity and fighting through difficult situations and rising to the occasion when all eyes are upon you and the lights are the brightest. There are so many great lessons that Americans take from sports. And it's not just Americans, but this is our culture. This is a massive part of who we are. And we've sort of lost that over the past couple decades. We need to get back to just kind of understanding healthy competition. There can be unhealthy competition. That's no good. That's where you'll lie at all costs. You'll screw anybody over at all costs. Anything to dominate, anything to win the day, anything to get your way. That stuff gets gross really fast. Yeah, you temporarily get your way and you burned every bridge around you. And that happens to the best of us. I'm sure we've personally done that, either knowingly or unintentionally, maybe not fully realizing. I have, I'm sure. I'm guessing you can all think of times where it's been that way, but there's a redemption arc. Look at the Cleveland Browns for a second. I know this is a Strictly Guardians show, but part of that was just so I could stream it here on Facebook because we're trying to break through the censorship. You saw what they said yesterday? I do another show called the T-Nam Daily Show. And Jim Jordan said that they had conversations with YouTube, Google about the censorship that they've been deploying against certain people. And so, what did Nimbus just do? Okay, hold on. Nimbus, you stepped on something. What did you? Okay. Love my cat, but yeah, so YouTube has been censoring the heck out of people while we're trying to grow a network, while we're trying to engage with our fans who want to talk about Cleveland sports on some topics. We want to talk about the Cleveland Browns on other topics, the Cleveland Cavaliers starting, the Ohio State Buckeyes. What a time to be a fan here. There's promise in with the Browns for the first time in a long time. Definitely since the Baker reboot. It's been a mess, and it looks like we've got a ton of talented young players. It's exciting. The Cavaliers are legitimate NFL championship contenders. Many think they coulda, woulda, shoulda gone further last year. The Buckeyes are ranked number 1, say no more. And the Guardians have come from behind. Talk about never say die. The American spirit. You fight, fight, fight. This is it. This is an awesome sports story. So I know Scott Adams talks about sometimes that the thing that happens is often the most entertaining thing that would happen. Maybe the most entertaining storyline. You finally get a championship for Jose Ramirez, one of the greatest baseball players of all time. Where does he rank? I don't know. Top 500, top 250, top 100, top 50. Look him up, look around. But you know what's missing? Some championships. How about we start with one? It's a team of Jose Ramirez, and who else is in this lineup? You don't even know a lot of these names. What a great story. The guy that took the hometown discount by the tune of like $100 million. He's very happy. He's very wealthy. He loves where he's at, and he wants to stay where he's at. It's an immigrant, a U.S. citizen. Obviously with ball players, there's exceptions to all of that. But it's a great story, and that he's welcomed into the tribe, into the community, into Cleveland, so much so that he feels so much love that he says, I would rather take $100 million less to stay here in Cleveland. That's what we all wanted LeBron to do. This theory that like, oh, LeBron needs to go to a big market like LA or Miami or Los Angeles to be a superstar. It's like the league needs him. But then he did embrace coming back home, and he brought a championship. And then he went out to LA to do that thing again too. It's like everybody's allowed to play their video game how they want. Nobody really owes anybody anything. But Jose Ramirez said, hey, you know what? Home run, bro, bro? He's a fun player to watch. He's a smart player to watch. A consistent player to watch. A clutch player to watch. There's nothing like Cleveland playoff energy. And the playoffs have started. The Astros are right there. The Red Sox are right there. The Tigers are right there. Any one of them can fall off. Any one of them can jump in. You got 5 games left. Everything counts. So, in a way, the playoffs have already started. They're already here. And so I want you to watch. I want you to pay attention. This is a great story. Sports weaves its way into the fabric of America, and it's part of the common stories that we tell. The nation building, community building, city building, shared experiences that make us a community. You need shared experiences to be a community. You can't just dump brand new strangers in and expect your community to be like your community. Like we have the right to keep our communities like our communities. And you welcome in players like Jose Ramirez who become a part of it and embrace the community, and they're good people. They're never causing problems for anyone. They're getting by on their own. They want to be here. They choose to be here. Let me pull that up. I am curious. Nimbus is getting a full-on massage here. He's not hating this. Here, hands off the keyboard though. Here, hands, there you go. I do want to look that up. Let's see. I hope I'm telling this story right. Jose Ramirez become U.S. citizen. I do believe this is the story. Grok has been so slow lately, by the way. Okay. Grok is not working. It's really not working. This is naturalization date. Jose has been a U.S. citizen since November 2, 2022. During a naturalization ceremony in Cleveland, Ohio, he was among 50 new citizens from 25 countries. He was born in Bonny, Dominican Republic. He had been a lawful permanent resident since signing with the Indians in 2009, making his MLB debut in 2013. He shared the news on social media, saying it was a dream come true for his family. I love Jose Ramirez. Love him. By the way, make sure you check out Strictly Football. Our episode yesterday went over week 3. Mike Berra and Jim Mitchell talked about their Seattle Seahawks. I talked about my Cleveland Browns, and Ezrael Robinson talked about his Dallas Cowboys. Please check that show out. It's on YouTube, Rumble, all those things, but it's right here as well. These are the picks that we had, the betting trends and betting tips for yesterday's Strictly Football show. Make sure you're following Strictly Football at TNAM Football on X. But we're here on the account for The Unhappy Hour. Follow us on X, The Unhappy Hour _. The Unhappy Hour _. And check out yesterday's show that the Guardians playoffs start today versus Tigers, and the Browns defense looks legendary. Yes, the Browns defense does look legendary, people. This is hang on, I gotta share the different screen. Stop screen sharing. Let me try screen sharing again. Your Nimbus stepped on something. Okay, I guess we're back. There you go. Make sure you're following us. All right, let's see what stories we have. Tony Grossi says Jim Schwartz could probably make more money consulting teams on how to contain Derrick Henry than he makes as Browns defensive coordinator. That's a fun comment there. Cameron Justice talking about the Guardians game last night. I like big bunts, and I cannot lie. Bunt, B-U-N-T. I like big bunts, and I cannot lie. McNeil. It's fun having meaningful baseball late in September. Me. Having a complete mental breakdown. Check out the documentary I made. Okay. So I flew back from Los Angeles to Cleveland when the Browns had the perfect winless season parade. And I made a documentary called Football Equals Family. We met with McNeil. We recorded the whole day with him and his family and the behind the scenes about that event, how it came together, just the whole behind the scenes look to really document what that was. Pretty cool. Pretty cool experience. McNeil's a hilarious sports guy. Nick Carnes reminds us that Chase Brown, these are running backs against the Browns because we are barking. Chase Brown had 21 carries for 43 yards. That's 2 yards a carry. Derrick Henry had 11 carries for 23 yards. That's 2.1 yards per carry. Jeez. 23 yards the whole game for Derrick Henry. Josh Jacobs, 16 carries, 30 yards, 1.9 yards per carry. We're going to be in a lot of football games if we continue to play that way. What is this conversation here? On 92.3 The Fan, you cannot have an immobile quarterback that is bypassing big plays down the field when he actually does get them. Yeah, if the other rookies can contribute, put somebody in it. Look, Dillon Gabriel played 5 years in college. He's not a dummy. Put him in. See what you got. You can always go back to Flacco. Just say, hey, we're going to give you a shot. Maybe they're not seeing enough in practice. We're talking about practice, not a game. Not a game. We're talking about practice. All the other rookies are contributing. Put Dillon Gabriel in. That's where I'm at. I get that Joe brings stability. He showed you 3 games how to control yourself, your composure, your focus, your preparation. You've learned from him. Bring in one of the kids and let's see what they got. If Dillon doesn't have it, is Shador ready to give it a shot? There's people that shine in practice. There's people that shine when the lights are the brightest. You don't want to destroy the psyche of the quarterback. They're professionals. There's big boys. If they come in now or if they come in 10 weeks from now, the boys are still going to be big. They're still going to be fast. They're still going to be well coached. When is a safe spot to let these dainty little quarterbacks in? They know the game that they're playing. You know the position you drafted them for. You're not getting much out of this offense. Some of that is because the offensive tackle. Some of this is because we didn't have Quinshon Judkins for the first week. I don't put all the blame on Joe Flacco, but he is very limited with his mobility out there. I don't know. I wouldn't see it as the end of the world if we made the switch at all, and we could just go back to Joe if it doesn't go well. If Joe was playing okay, like, yes, I know we were gaining yards. We were outgaining our opponents, and we were 0-2. But also, we were outgaining our opponents because our defense was holding them to no yards. So it's also a goofy stat you can't really rely on. So I don't know. I'm fine with it. What would you do? We put a poll up yesterday. Go to the unhappy hour _ and vote in the poll. Who would you start this week? Would you like Joe Flacco or Dillon Gabriel? Those are the only two options. Nick Camino says, this isn't just me stuck in a Cleveland bubble, but the Guardians are the best story going right now in Major League Baseball. It's not even close. Yeah, you want storylines. You want some hope. First championship in 77 years. Is that what it is? 77 years since 1948? Or is it 52? I did look this up yesterday. I'm forgetting off the top of my head. But yeah. People like Scott Adams would talk about the most interesting story is the one that's going to happen. The funniest one will happen. It's like the simulation winking. But, it's been rumored for a while that sports leagues are not truly competitive, that things are nudged at the edges to try to steer stories into prominence. And maybe sometimes to nudge the system away in a rigged system. Like the pitchers were doing. Emmanuel Clase, that was our go-to stopper, 9th inning relief pitcher. He was the closer. He has the most saves in Cleveland Indians history. And he's been taken off the chessboard because he was intentionally throwing bad pitches to put himself and our team in bad positions. Throwing the games. Just at the edges. But that's how you do it. That's how the devil gets his way in. Just a little bit. Here, try a little bit of drugs. Just one night stand. Just another shot. Don't worry about it. Just a little bit more. Too much? No, back up. Just here. No. Just, I'm going to set this on the table. Like, I'll come back for it. Just, if you could leave it up there. I know you won't. That's fine. And you can't stop looking at it. And then you go back to it again. It's like, haha, just a little bit. You nibble at the edges. You don't call the helmet-to-helmet hit on Dirty Dan Sorensen on the Kansas City Chiefs. That means Baker Mayfield's touchdown to Hollywood Higgins to win us that game, because that's a game we lost by less than 7 points. Instead, they let him hit helmet to helmet, a clear ejectable offense. The ball tumbles forward through the end zone out of bounds for a touchback. We lose the 7 points and they get our ball back. You just nibble at the edges. You have to be too big to rig. You can't even let things be close. The only way to actually win is to blow somebody out. Because then you take away the potential of, they called another foul on that. They threw another flag. I wasn't even in it. How did you call that? A couple of penalty flags of pass interference or holding. You're on a roll, but now you got to go the opposite direction by 10 yards, 15 yards. Try it again. 5 yards. Try it again. I'm just going to nibble at the edges and make it so that you can't. And that's really what YouTube was doing to the new American media, to the unhappy hour for years. Just nibbling at the edges, making sure that we couldn't deliver our show to the people who were signing up. Like, I'd like to see what's up. What do they got going on over there? Well, we're talking sports. Well, we're covering the news. Whatever it is that we're doing, they would hide that stuff. Just nibbling at the edges. It's been a battle, you could say. But we've been getting by. And we're having fun this season talking about sports. And coming up at noon today, we're going to have the TNAM Daily Show. I'm looking to see if I have that as a full screen. Close to a full screen. The TNAM Daily Show. Come check it out. We dump the news on the table and rifle through rubbish, separating fake news from fact. But back doing some sports shows because this is exciting. This is fun. I love this. I love it. I also appreciate all the support we've been given underneath at the bottom of the screen. That shows our TNAM donation links. If anyone would like to support us on Patreon, you can do so. Just search The New American Media. We're on Cash App and Venmo at my name. That's Brian, Brian Engelman, Engelman. Then we also have PayPal. The email is fuzzinstallment@yahoo.com. But yeah, this is the best story going right now. And Scott Adams would talk about the most interesting story or the funniest story. It often happens way more at a way higher rate than you'd imagine. And it's noteworthy the Tigers collapse. But look, the Tribe had a bad stretch this year. I don't know. We can sometimes make a little bit too much out of that, but coming back from 15 and a half games behind, it's never been done. So celebrate this. Go reward the guys. Go give them that energy. Push them over the edge. And for the love of God, don't sell your tickets. Don't sell them to out-of-towners. Keep them for yourself. Get your neighbor. Invite your neighbors. Say, let me get you a Christmas gift this year early. Let me just come with me to the game. Be my guest. Let me take you as a gift to me. It's your birthday present. You got a birthday in November? Okay, let me get you tickets early. Let me give you a birthday. Let me take you to the ball game. Go show up. Life is meant to be lived. We get put in our bubbles and we close our life off. It gets tighter and tighter and smaller. You got to go back out and you got to reconnect. You got to get that energy. You just have to. But it is the best story going. So if we win the championship this year, that's fine with me. Din Madden says David Fry is one tough son of a gun. Young man from Irving, Texas. I didn't want to show that. I'll stop it there. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this just auto-played. David Fry is one tough son of a gun, young man from Irving, Texas, an all-star last year. Has worked his tail off long before and since being drafted in the 7th round in 2018. His example is part of what makes the game great. Prayers up, man. David Fry got smacked in the face, and Scooble was sickened. Kenny Atkinson talks about Lonzo Ball, posted here by Hoodie Garland. Said Lonzo Ball hooped yesterday for the Cavs and looked great. With his history, we need to have a plan in place. We need that guy healthy for playoffs because he's a heck of a player. He fits what we do, and I just love his character. So the largest deficits overcome to tie or take the lead in a division from 1969 on, or the league between 1900 to 68. We've now eclipsed the 1914 Braves. The largest come from behind, take a division lead. 15 and a half games. One, two, three, four, 5 teams won those divisions. Or the league. I'm trying to understand what this means, but that's from Elias Sports. That's pretty cool. This is a Tarek Skubal quote. I believe this is from last year. After they had to play us in the playoffs last year. Tarek Skubal.
I mean, that environment too, hats off to those fans. That place was rock. That place was buzzing. Like
Cleveland was buzzing.
That was a really good environment, you know, for a postseason game. And we played in Houston too, and Houston's loud, and obviously they have the history of, you know, all the rings and all the winning there, but I thought Cleveland was a better environment. I mean, that environment too, hats off to those fans. That place was.
So get out to a game, go soak up that good energy. Let's see what's trending with Mike Evans. Any updates on his hamstring? Missed multiple games with injured hamstring. Doggone it. No. Yeah, they drafted Emeka Ibuka. Maybe they could draft another receiver next year, too. Paul Hoyne says ticket sales are sitting at 29,000 as of 4:30 p.m. for the Guardians-Tigers game on Tuesday. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I guess that was yesterday. They sold 13,000 tickets in last week in anticipation of the game. Perfect weather, lots on the line. Carmen and Lima saying, I thought the game was over when he completed that pass. That might be the most elite thing I've ever seen the Browns offense do. They were impressed with how the Browns got into field goal range and how quickly they set up the game.
They get another playoff.
And you know what? That's something that you lean on veteran leadership for. But you know what? If you've coached your kid up, your kid's been through that drill. He knows the drill. He had to run that drill in college at Oregon, competing for national championships. Playing so well that you picked him in the 3rd round. Let him play. You think he's smart enough to handle this. Let him do it. Dion said you don't learn anything sitting on the bench. They have Dion running, they have Shedeur running the scout team offense. That's what you should be doing. You need to be giving Dillon those reps too. Keep it fresh. Work them in and out. Let them run the cycles. Go. Keep it smooth. Keep it running. Keep it fast. Rotate the practice reps. Ramp it up because we need better. It's like DeJuan Jones got injured, and he was our starting tackle, but he wasn't playing well either. It's like, yeah, replacing Flacco. Well, it'd be too soon. Well, it'd be too soon if he was playing well. He's not really playing well. He's kind of playing okay. Can we get better than that? Can we try a little bit more than that? I don't blame Flacco, but I also am totally fine with the change. I don't worry so much. Some people do. I don't. Look at the impact all the other rookies are having on the Cleveland Browns. Let them play. Let them loose. Yeah, but quarterback's different. It's the same game they played in college. Stop. It's not like they're going to hit it. You're waiting for these 23-year-olds to hit a growth spurt. Like, they are who they are. Let them go. I know with a full year of conditioning and working out, they can add muscle mass and get even stronger, but still, you get my point. So the Cleveland Guardians were closer to the Chicago White Sox than they were to the Tigers just 2.5 months ago. Look at that. We were 42-48, 15.5 games back. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, multiple teams who were expected to make the postseason could find themselves completely out of the race over the next 6 days of the season. Here's J. Ram can do it all. 30 home runs and 40 stolen bases. How many switch hitters have ever done this? Well, Howard Johnson in 89, Carlos Beltran in 04, Jimmy Rollins in 07. Who's done it twice? Nobody. Oh, except for the guy that did it once. Andy did it twice. Jose Ramirez, last year and this year. J. Ram can do it all. Lead. Come on. How could he not be in the running for MVP? That he created a new category. You came fifth. Well, it's a team sport. If you come back and win your division, and this is very preliminary because there's 5 more games left, but if you come back from 15.5 and you win your division, yeah, that is the epitome of what an MVP, the literal most valuable player. Who else is on this team carrying their weight? Stephen Kwan and the pitching. But my God, Jose's been runner-ups, third, fourth, fifth in the MVP ballots year after year after year. You know, at some point you toss a dog a bone. And, Steve Nash won an award that should have clearly gone to LeBron James, an MVP in NBA. You sort of get lifetime achievement trophies sometimes. That's not to take away from, the people who are having a legitimate season or whatnot. But at some point, you're just like, man, your body of work is. Yeah, we've been watching you crush for a long time. We're giving you one. Great job this season, but great job all these seasons. It's sort of human nature for that to happen. Playoff atmosphere outside Progressive. Oh, yeah, and inside. Third year in a row. Oh, okay. This was in 97. Can't play you the clip, but that was when Sandy clinched it 10-9 over the Yankees. Jordan Zirm says this, and I said this on the Strictly Football show last night. Let me read his version. I'll tell you what I said. Browns defensive line versus these Lions running backs. Gonna be cinema next week. And I said, yeah, the immovable force meets the unstoppable object. The Detroit offense is going to play the Cleveland defense. This is going to be something else. But I'm once again calling on the NFL. You have got to make an example of these players who are diving at the knees of Cleveland Browns players. You let Minkah Fitzpatrick get away with it against Nick Chubb, derailing his career. You're supposed to be protecting your players against bullshit cheap shots. You're failing us. You need your best players healthy and on the field. Make an example out of them and not allow that type of cheap shot bullshit behavior. Happened to Dwan Jones. Wrecked his knee. He's out for the entire season. We needed him. He needed this year for his experience, his development. He wasn't having a great year. He needed the reps. He needed the improvement. He needed the game footage. He needed work on his steps. He needed to learn. He needed to improve, and you took that from him. I know it's a violent game. It's a tough sport to play, but you've got to protect your players better. You've let us down since your referee threw a yellow flag. The NFL Players Association, the NFL, has been letting the Cleveland Browns players' health and safety down since, well, when your referee grabbed a yellow beanbag-filled flag and threw it right into the eye of Orlando Brown, blinding him. When you didn't suspend Minkah Fitzpatrick of the Steelers for as many games as it took Nick Chubb to return from that injury, you were just telling them it's okay that you're doing this. That was not a football play. That was not a play of a man. That was not an accident. That was somebody who's too tough to deal with. So I'm going to do something so cheap shot, so bullshit. It's not hard to put your hands around somebody, wrap them, and spin them to the ground. It's not that hard. You go for center mass, you hit, you wrap, you grab, you drag. No matter how big or small, you don't have to be a pinball. You don't go after people's knees. So Dwan Jones is missing the season now because of that, and that's unfortunate. But Browns D-line, the unstoppable force, their offense meets the immovable object. It's going to be awesome. The Browns defense is legitimate. Max says, when people say Dillon Gabriel's athleticism would boost this Browns offense, here's an example. Defenses will constantly chase runs on the backside because Joe Flacco isn't a threat to pull it. I'd play it, but I can't. The Tribe are now in first place in the AL Central with 5 games to go. What a run by the Cleveland Guardians. I can't play you any of these, but this stutter step jump thing where he just kind of bounce pivot, he'll do like a sideways lunge. It's a movement that most offensive players aren't used to seeing. Offensive linemen, they're not used to seeing it. Miles is going to work, man. Stretching that line, letting the other guys go to town. It is a glorious thing to watch. It is a playoff atmosphere in Cleveland. Gavin Williams had, what was his final stats on the day? We had, as a team, here's box score. 19 strikeouts out of 27 outs. 19 strikeouts, people. Two from closer, Cade Smith. 3 from Hunter Gaddis. 2 by Sobrowski, and 12 for Gavin Williams. ERA 3.06. 12-5 on the year. Just incredible pitching. So happy to have it. Truly a great story. But yeah, just go on our X feed, at the unhappy hour _. All these videos that I can't play you. Maybe I could play this. Get out to the ballpark. Go have these shared experiences. This has never happened in the history of baseball. A team came from 15 and a half games back. Go build an experience with your family, with your friends. Although the cameraman was terrible there, moving away right at the pitch. So yesterday, right-hand pitcher Gavin Williams had 91 pitches, 61 of those were strikes. Over his last 4 starts, 24 innings pitched, 18 hits, 5 earned runs. Over 4 starts, 5 earned runs over 4 starts, 10 walks, 30 strikeouts, and a 1.88 ERA. This is your ace. Ace is the place, people. Brandon says, started charting sacks for the TSR. I didn't realize how much Brown bit on Miles' Euro step inside. So they're calling it like a Euro step. He's presenting an optical illusion with the way he's moving to set up his moves. He's been doing this for years, and it never gets old. I'd show it to you if I could. Browns tight end Harold Fanin Jr. leads all rookies in receptions through the first 3 weeks of the season. He's got 15. Second place is Tyler Warren, Emeka Ibuka, and Tedoroya McMillan at 14. Dylan Sampson has 11, tied with Travion Henderson. And they're both running backs. I'm sorry, one is a tight end, and he's a running back, Dylan Sampson. Yeah, neither one of them is a wide receiver, and they're on the list for rookie receivers. So if the rookies can go run the routes and catch the passes, why can't a rookie be throwing the ball to them? Dare I say they could. Maybe they should. Yep, the guards never quit. This guy, Cubs rookie Matt Shaw, says he doesn't regret skipping his game to attend Charlie Kirk's memorial. Let's play this one.
All the veteran players I've talked to, and really the whole team, having their support was really important to me. And then, I mean, Charlie, he was.
I boosted the volume there, but I'll play it again. But he says that he talked to the vets in the locker room to see if he had their support to, step away from the team to go pay his respects to his friend.
All the veteran players I've talked to, and really the whole team, having their support was really important to me. And then, I mean, Charlie, he was, he was someone that I met at the apartments in Arizona where I lived, and then someone who was one of the biggest Cubs fans I ever met. And he texted me after every game, great win for the Cubbies, and he was super, super supportive of us, and obviously someone who's really faithful. So we connected on that front as well. But yeah, I mean, his wife Erica had texted me asking me if I would come to the funeral, and I felt as though it was something that was really important for me to do.
Are you concerned about the backlash, because there is a lot of politics involved with this?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I'm not concerned at all. No, my connection with Charlie was through our faith. That's something that drives me every day. That's the reason why I'm able to do what I do every day, and that's something I'm extremely thankful for. I know without my faith and without the many blessings I've been given in my life, that I wouldn't be here able to talk to you guys, able to help this team eventually go and win championships. So that's something I feel really, really blessed about. So, whatever backlash comes is okay. I feel.
Imagine discussing having backlash to attend a funeral. It's just, it's depressing, but like, this is the exact way you handle this. Like, I can't believe this. This guy's like, this guy, heavy eyelids. I don't know if it's because they don't like this guy because he was with Kirk, or that they don't want to even talk about this, or they can't believe they're in a situation where they have to have such a redundant. It just feels unnecessary. Oh, why would she be asking about backlash? Who's going to have backlash to go to your friend's funeral? Who does she work for, and what is she trying to push by that question, mind you? Anyway, the way this gentleman is answering the question, you speak boldly and try to be kind.
Okay, I feel strong about my faith in that what was meant to be happening.
So, Matt Shaw, Cubs rookie. sideline view of the Browns game looks insane. That's probably NFL, so I can't share it. More Drew Carey because y'all asked.
Ladies and gentlemen, the umpires for tonight's game. Final play, that one Mastroso.
Got Drew Carey throwing out the first pitch. I'm wondering if I can even play this. I feel like sports is different. I'm on the TNAM Daily Show. I play clips from everything all day. If you play a couple of seconds of something from a football game, it'll flag your content. It's like, what? I'm scrolling through social media just like everybody's doing. What are you talking about? So there, he throws out the first pitch. Ready? They're all still images. Anyway. It's good to have Cleveland fans. Listen to the crowd. Listen to the crowd. Isn't that great? David Fry did suffer facial fractures, says Guardians prospective on the bunt attempt versus Skubal. So he's been told facial fractures. I don't know how reliable that is, but I did see this. Originally underwent assessment at Lutheran East Medical Center, but was transferred to the Cleveland Clinic main campus. Let me ask Grok. Update on David Fry injury. Let's get the latest. He remained conscious throughout the incident. Walked off the field under his own power, carted away for evaluation. Skubal was visibly shaken and later texted Fry to check on him and expressed relief that he seemed okay initially. Teammates called it really scary. So transported to Lutheran Medical for assessment, transferred to Cleveland Clinic main campus for further testing and overnight observation. No official update released by the Guardians as of Wednesday morning, but the team stated they will provide details on his condition later today, the 24th. Early reports from social media and unverified sources suggest possible issue like a lost tooth or potential jaw fracture, but these have not been confirmed by the team or medical officials. Fry is expected to remain under observation to rule out concussion or more serious complications. Guardians face the Tigers again tonight in a crucial series finale with playoff implications hanging in the balance. Fans and players from both sides have rallied with support for Fry. Get well soon, David. Okay, well, that's the latest. I wanted to get the actual answer there. Jennifer Matthews had the best time Sunday, and what a finish. Love seeing her dad, Clay Matthews, in the Browns Stadium in the Ring of Honor. He needs to go in the Hall of Fame. Carmen in Lima says, get comfortable with one of the college QBs because you're going to take one as the Browns fan. For fans' sake, you better hope Drew Aller puts it on Oregon or on Saturday and then puts it on Ohio State. You'd be more comfortable. We'll see. Matt LaFleur, the head coach of the Packers, said, I knew that D-line was pretty good on the Browns. Probably underestimated them to some level, the other guys. I'm telling you, this is not a one-man show. This isn't just the Myles Garrett show. This is the entire team playing fantastic. This came from the official Cleveland Guardians account, which is why I'll believe the quote that they are putting out on their official account. Otherwise, I don't believe a single sports quote, and I would encourage you to not believe any single sports quote. There are too many fake stories attributed to anybody saying anything about any current issue that I'm going to donate this, or I think they should say this, or they should speak up for this. Like it's so much clickbait. They're fake stories. Don't share those. But this one comes from the Cleveland Guardians official account. From Stephen Vogt, the manager of the Cleveland Browns, the skipper. We couldn't be more excited to get back home. We need our fans. We need to pack out Progressive. Our boys are going to be ready to play. We would love to see as many fans as possible. The boys are ready. We know it's at stake, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Monty the Color Man. The key to winning in baseball is scoring more runs than your opponent. And our differential is still -6 somehow. More for you, Cleveland. Can't stop laughing at this picture. Kevin Stefanski, stoic like a statue. Miles screaming like a banshee. Joey Cade Smith Enjoyer says, watching Scooble go from relentless competitor to just a concerned human being in a fraction of a second speaks to his character. Him dropping his guard probably did end up costing them the game, but it tells you the type of person number 29 in Detroit is. Yeah, he's already been in touch with David Fry, hoping he's doing okay. So check this out. The Cleveland Browns are 13-5 at home against teams with a winning record since 2020. The other two best are Kansas City and Buffalo. That is wild. In the past 5 years, the Browns are 13-5 at home against teams with winning records. That's pretty good. Why can't we get the other parts right? Nick Padone says the Cavs couldn't stop Thomas Bryant in the NBA playoffs. Now he's on their squad. Great addition by Kobe Altman. So Kobe Altman adds more to the front court. Thomas Bryant going to add some muscle up front to help us push through for a championship. The Guardians scored 3 runs off Scooble in the 6th without a ball leaving the infield or being hit harder than 65 miles an hour. It's kind of crazy. The Browns' defensive grades per the PFF grades. Another massive performance for the Dogs. The best football player on the planet paced the field, a 92.3 defensive grade. And hello, Aiden Huntington, number 98, defensive left tackle. They have him listed at 86.3. Second best on the team. He was unsigned. Great job by Andrew Berry this year. The safety duo was absolutely money. Defensive line interior was pure chaos. It's awesome. Congratulations to Browns linebacker Carson Schweisinger, who, according to Browns Fan UK, says has been nominated for the NFL's Rookie of the Week award. He's a good one. He's the next Clay Matthews, and we've needed him for years. He belongs here. We've made some really good moves. Before the season started, said the Dogs here, Steelers fans clapped back anytime you said Myles Garrett was better than TJ Watt. Haven't heard a peep since kickoff this season. That's true. Nick Camino reminds us, remember, there is no game 163. Tiebreakers may be dictating playoff teams here in 2025. That said, if the Guardians can win this game tonight, which they did, the game tonight, then they wouldn't be tied for first place. They would be in first place. Got to finish the job here. So, yeah, if it started today, we're in. But, we got 5 games. Let's focus each one. Get them done. Look at this edge rusher when it's one-on-one. Myles Garrett is absolutely off the charts. They have to keep remaking this PFF chart. Most people are down here somewhere one-on-one. Myles is it's him and Micah Parsons. Kingsley, Hutchinson, Watt, somebody, Scorton. But man, oh man, Myles is in a league of his own. What's this? All right, initial thoughts on the Browns Lions after looking through some numbers and watching Detroit play on Monday night. A lot of praise for the Browns defense, and this is the week to prove it's worthy. Lions might be the best offense in the NFL, number 1 in EPA per play, second in scoring. They'll test Cleveland with their motion and misdirection. Cleveland's defensive front needs to win in a way that Baltimore's couldn't last night. Goff has the number 2 QBR when not pressured, 26 when pressured. The weak spot of the Lions' offensive line is their interior. It needs to be a big Graham Collins day. Interested to see how Detroit approaches Garrett. I'd line him up over Decker and force the double teams that way to free some one-on-one opportunities. Stylistically, Detroit's defense is very similar to Cleveland. A lot of man coverage, cover 1. Teams have had success against Arnold at cornerback. There were opportunities with Bond in week 3. Maybe they can hit on that and get Judy going in one-on-one opportunities. Cleveland's offensive line, even with injuries, needs to hold up. Cleveland's DL had a great game Monday night, but they are dead last in pass block win rate. Zach Meisel. Meisel? Well, there was the 10-game losing streak for the Tribe, and the gambling investigation, and the trade deadline, and another skid. Guardians kept it together through dark days, difficult conversations, tears, and sleepless nights. He writes about the turnaround. Check out that article. Hayden Wink says the Browns getting a 2026 first-rounder, and Mason Graham, and Carson Schweisinger, and Quinshon Judkins, and Harold Fanin Jr., and Dylan Sampson, and Aiden Huntington in this draft class, and Andre Sczmyt is sensational. All of them had flashed within 3 weeks. I'm gonna type that. And Huntington and Sczmyt. How do you spell that? Sczmyt. Holy Sczmyt, longest walk-off in Browns history. There was a longer field goal kick that we made against the Carolina Panthers when Baker Mayfield left our team and started for the Panthers in week 1 to start the season a couple of years ago. That was a 58-yarder, but there was still time on the clock. So it wasn't technically a walk-off. As Saiyan Season says. Cleveland Browns are allowing the fewest yards per game in the NFL at 204.3. They have the second most sacks in the NFL at 11. Cleveland has faced 2 Super Bowl contenders and Joe Burrow. It's a generational defense. McNeil says, on your left, Detroit. Cleveland goes roaring past the Tigers. Donovan Mitchell was in the house yesterday, up on the Jumbotron. Cavs superstar, MVP candidate, trying to win a title for the Cavaliers. Let's go. Get it this year. I can't believe I'm saying this, says Danny Cunningham. But the Cleveland Guardians' magic number to win the American League Central is 5. Magic number. That's a combination of Detroit losses and Cleveland wins. So if we win, that will be a 2-game swing for the magic number, dropping it to 3. We're right here. Like, we have it right in front of us. Daniel Oyafusi says, among all rookies, Browns running back Quinshon Judkins has gained the second most yards after forcing missed tackles, 58, through week 3 per Next Gen Stats. Quinshon's the real deal, says center Ethan Posich. So yeah, Larry Nance Jr., Dean Wade, Thomas Bryant as the backup big rotation. I legit don't think we've had this type of front court depth since 2010. Miles terrorized Jordan Love. He said on the sideline, I got passed by tackle clean. And he goes, run, Jordan, run. He yelled, run, Jordan, run. The Cleveland Guardians AL Central odds movement, according to Barstool Gambling. On September 12th, it was plus 10,000. September 23rd, minus 185. That is insanity. But yeah, look at Quinshon getting off the field yelling, we not losing. Energy, bro. Energy. Shedeur Sanders praised his scout team family last week. Gage Larvadane, and was excited that wide receiver Luke Floria came back. We're ready. We're ready. They're just playing right there on like the minor league team, staying ready on scout team. You never know. That's why you stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. And of course, the Athletics beat the Astros. That went final. That's good news for Cleveland because they own the tiebreak. Oh, and because Cleveland owns the tiebreak over Houston, now essentially have a 2-game lead over the Astros for the American League wild card. That's good. There's only one thing left to do, Cleveland. Win the whole effing thing. Polymarket Football says the Browns would have won their trade in the draft if it was just Travis Hunter for Mason Graham straight up. Never mind the fact they also got Quinshon Judkins and a first-round pick in the deal. Andrew Berry saved his job with this draft. And you know what? You got to give it to him. I haven't been an Andrew Berry fan, but new information should give me different data points to have conversation points. People can change. People can improve. The redemption arc of Andre Sczmyt. He lost us that game against the Bengals, and he won us that game against the Packers. You know what? There you go. It's a long season. Ride or die. Let's try to get some more. Demanding instant, constant perfection is that's tough. Tom Hamilton points out that over the last 13 years, the Cleveland Guardians have only played 25 games in which they were mathematically eliminated from playoff contention. Do you understand how insane that is? Cleveland Guardians are proving that small market teams can, in fact, compete. On July 8th, the Cleveland Guardians were 15 and a half games back of the Tigers for the AL Central, and tonight they're in first place with 5 games to go. Browns defensive tackle Aiden Huntington, number 98, has played 9 snaps at fullback, as well as 35 defensive snaps and 35 special teams snaps this year. That's awesome. NFL has another Patrick Ricard, and it's only fitting that he's in the AFC North. Great pickup. Myles Garrett only being double-teamed, the 11th highest of all edges, is a Mason Graham, Malik Collins stat, in my opinion, says Quincy Carrier. That's a good point, because they're all playing well. It's not just the Myles show and a bunch of bums. Everyone is feasting right now. Everyone is playing well. It's such a fantastic thing to watch. It's so reminiscent of the defense we used to play. We were good when I played back in high school. Daniel Oyafusi says Garrett is second in the NFL in sacks at 4, leads the league in run stop rate. Excuse me. Garrett is second in the NFL in sacks with 4 and leads the league in run stop win rate as an edge defender. Double teamed at the 11th highest rate among edge rushers, which feels low. He plays through all that, and we use him in a variety of ways, and then the impact that it has on the other guys. It's why he's the defensive player of the year, just for perpetuity, in my opinion, says Kevin Stefanski. Defensive player of the year just for perpetuity. Just everything runs through him. Yeah, now they have to deal with Mason Graham, Malik Collins, Aiden Huntington, Isaiah McGuire, Alex Wright. Like, you can't just focus on one guy now. Guardians rotation set a franchise record with 18 straight starts giving up 2 or less runs. 18 straight starts giving up 2 or less runs. Wow. It was Gavin Williams, a guy named Slade, Bybee, a rookie, Logan Allen, Joey Cantillo, not CC, Sabathia, not Nagy, not Oral Hershiser, not Corey Kluber, not Bob Feller, not Shane Bieber. This is incredible. Yeah, go watch Major League. The Tigers needed that win, and you took it from them. Hell of a win, says Nick Wilson. Jose Ramirez has 100 runs, 30 home runs, and 40 steals in 2025, becoming the first player in Major League Baseball history to record those figures in back-to-back seasons. He is the 4th player ever, to have such seasons, multiple seasons, joining Bobby and Barry Bonds. Bobby did it 3 times. Barry did it twice. And Alfonso Soriano did it twice. That's your list. Coming into this game, says Tony Paul from the Detroit News, Tigers ace Tariq Skubal had 10 wild pitches, 7 errors, and 1 balk for his career. He accomplished all 3 in the 6th inning tonight. It's crazy. Guardians were 12.5 games behind the Tigers 29 days ago, and they're now tied for first place. How many teams have ever been that far out that late in a season and finished first? That would be 0. And they have the tiebreaker. The tiebreaker's there. Anyway, that's what I wanted to share with you. Wanted to check in, talk about it. I mean, where do you start? Buckeyes, Tribe, Browns, Cavs coming up, title contender. This is, dare I say, this feels like a golden age of baseball, of sports for Cleveland, Northeast Ohio. Buckeyes sitting in first place as defending national champions. I mean, this is, what a time to be alive, people. See if anybody has a comment or a question. See, couldn't add guest. Okay. Tried to see from Scott. Try to see about Sal. Sal's been joining us. We've been live streaming on Sundays. We may do that this year or this week. We shall see. But for now, yes, Trash Panda, thank you for being here. Appreciate you as always. We'll be back in about an hour and a half. Oh, wait, is he joining? I think he's joined. Are you there?
Yes.
All right, it's Sal. I can't see Sal, but I have his, you've called in, and we can hear your voice. You will be our last. I want to get your take on all of these topics. I want to hear any quick thought on either the Buckeyes or the Cavaliers or the Browns or the Guardians. Tell me where your head's at and just give me a quick point or two about where you're, what you've been thinking about and most impressed with this week.
This week, this is probably the greatest week for a Cleveland sports fan in a long time. I don't recall ever having such good news on all sides of our sport film.
It's incredible.
The Guardians are amazing. This is like real life major league.
Yeah.
This is the closest thing.
You're right. Look, this is the real life major league. That sums it up so perfectly. You know what? We're just gonna have to win the whole effing thing, aren't we?
And that's what it looked like.
Let's go. Why not us? Why not this year?
Why not?
And it would cement the Jose Ramirez legacy into the upper echelon of Hall of Fame, greatest of all time players to consistently just be an all around ball player.
Hands down, and never just unapologetic. You know, he is. When you think Cleveland, you think of him. You know, you think of the Jim Tomeys, you think of the Kenny Loftons, you think of the Carlos Viagra. He's amongst those guys, in my opinion.
And you know what? Jose Ramirez took about $100 million less because he wants to be here. He feels at home here. He feels good here. He wouldn't want $100 million to go somewhere else. He likes where he's at. He likes his tribe of community. He moved here. He became a U.S. citizen a couple of years ago. You know, he's still learning English. God bless him. I'm like, come on, buddy. If you can hit a curveball, you can learn how to, you know, have some better interviews. But still, like, it's such a great story because nobody ever picks Cleveland. LeBron coming back and choosing Cleveland again, like that was the first time he got to choose Cleveland. First time he was drafted there. He came back and he actually chose Cleveland, brought a championship, and he cemented his status as the greatest of all time in my regard for that moment there, breaking the Cleveland curse, winning the championship in 2016 for the Cavs. But yeah, Jose Ramirez, he's just missing that championship. And out of all the great teams out there, you're telling me we can't compete with any of them? Yeah, it'd be better if this or if that. But you know what? 18 straight games with our starters, 2 or less earned runs. I mean, you can't. We are on a tear unlike the league has seen. And we are in a position now to control our destiny with 5 home games in a row. Today, tomorrow, the next day, the day after that. 5 home games in a row. This is incredible time to be excited. And you watched the game. You couldn't join us because it was too loud. Maybe we got to figure out an earbud situation. But
I'll figure it out. I just went there. I had my mom with me, and we went to the Brown's backyard bar. I wanted just to take her, show her around the city and stuff. So, yeah, I did that.
That's cool. That's cool. And what I was saying is that we watched such an impressive game from the Browns. Yes, they're struggling offensively. We know, and they got line problems, and Flacco's missing some stuff, but he's not the worst thing we've ever seen. But if all the other rookies can play, can't we just see what Dillon's got? All the other rookies are making a massive impact for us. But either way, what an exciting win and what an exciting defensive unit we have, Sal. This is the best defensive unit we might have seen since back to Clay Matthews, maybe best of all time. If they can keep this up, this is legendary stuff.
Hands down, it is. I was thinking of, it was reminiscent of the Clay Matthews, Michael Dean Perry, those guys. That remind me of them, when we were young kids, watching the games. That was that type of defense that was reminiscent of those guys. Eric Turner, that type of defense. I mean, yeah, that they're amazing. That offense, yeah, we have to we have to do it with our quarterback. All we need is competent quarterback play, and we'll win a lot of the games that they say that we shouldn't win. With competent quarterback play, where you're not turning the ball over.
And they say that that's what's going on though now, is that Flacco's in his head. He's not letting it rip because he's so concerned about not turning it over. He's making no connection with Jerry Jeudy going downfield. And so they're just teeing off on us with these little dump down passes, the screens, the little, dink and dunk stuff, to the point where it's really taking stuff off the board. We can't be mobile at quarterback to roll the pocket, which is something we did exceptionally well under Kevin Stefanski with Baker Mayfield when he was healthy. Exceptionally well. Best in the league. Roll out that pocket, and now you're playing downfield while you're moving. Dillon Gabriel knows how to do that. Like that is directly one of his skill sets. But then on the flip side, maybe you need a Super Bowl winner that was able to get that ball placed at the exact right moment in time to get the referee to touch it, to spike it, so that you had 2 seconds left to kick the field goal in the first place. I get it. But if all the other rookies can compete and play, I'd like to see what they got, because look what they're doing. Aiden Huntington is playing bonkers on the defensive line for the Browns. Mason Graham, bonkers on the line for the Browns. Carson Schweisinger is playing lights out for the Cleveland Browns on defense. These are all rookies. These are all first-year players. If they can do it, why can't our quarterback come in and light something on fire in a good way,
But this is the thing. When you say quarterback, the quarterback is the leader of the team.
Yes.
Like, I get that we got on the field goal kicker for missing the field goal, which is that's his job. But when you look at a quarterback, you're looking at the leader of the team. So do you really want a guy that's that young, that green per se, to be the leader of the team? Or would you rather have a guy that's been there, done that, and got the T-shirt and all that, and he's able to kind of command things, and you can have him to be the guy that these guys learn from? I understand what you're saying totally. But
and I understand what you're saying too. Go ahead.
Because they have to learn, and what better way for them to learn than to have someone like him, where it's not really a competition type deal. It's more or less them actually learning.
Well, then there's the Deion Sanders quote that says, I never learned anything sitting on the bench.
Well, that's Deion Sanders. When you're a generational talent, you can say stuff like that. But when you're not, you have to, you have to really go through those type of things. You have to learn. This is the thing. All the other quarterbacks that have done this, they end up being great because of the fact that they had the time to actually learn, go behind somebody. Aaron Rodgers did it with Brett Favre. Pat Mahomes, he did it under Alex Smith. These guys were under these guys that could actually play, and they learned from them, and they were able to get better. They were able to understand the playbook better. From what they say about Kevin Stefanski's playbook, they said it's like a Rubik's Cube type situation. So, you might need extra time to learn the plays,
Yes, I do. But just like how Matt LaFleur and the Packers coaches said, we have a totally different playbook for if Myles Garrett's on the field. Like we have to throw entire schemes and plays out that will not work with him on the field, right?
They were triple teaming this guy. Come on, man. When you triple teaming a guy, come on, one person getting triple team. That's why I don't like it when everybody try to say JT Watt is like, JJ Watt is, he's the greatest. No, he's not getting triple team. There's other players on that team that make it easy for him to be able to get what he gets, and plus he's a linebacker. But if you put Myles on the Pittsburgh defense, on the Pittsburgh type defense, come on, man, he averaged 25 sacks a year. It'd be easy.
Yeah, I don't even want to imagine a nightmare scenario like that. I know Myles always decorates for Christmas, or I'm sorry, for Halloween, the tombstone of the graveyard full of quarterbacks that he's sacked. I would. That made me ill thinking about Myles in a Schittsburg jersey. Thank you very much. No, I know exactly what you mean, but like as you said it, I actually just got physically ill wondering if that guy was going to beat up on me twice a year, guaranteed every year until he's done in his Hall of Fame career. But my greater point that I was getting at there was more so, instead of going the opposite way of a Rubik's Cube, a coach that has a Rubik's Cube playbook, well, if you bring in a dummy like Johnny Manziel, if you bring in a dummy like Deshaun Watson, if you bring in a dummy, you need to have a version of your playbook that's the child's menu. Can I get the kids menu over here? Yeah, he's 11, but he's going to order off the kids menu because he just ain't that sharp. Boy, ain't that bright. Or he just doesn't have experience in this system. He doesn't know the schemes. He doesn't know the language. It's not that he's a dummy. He hasn't completed the course to prove that he is comfortable with a credential check service he hasn't qualified for because he's not there yet. Now, some people can get there and some people will never get there, but they have to have a stripped down, watered down kids menu version of whatever Rubik's Cube they think they're the smartest person of the room coming up with. It's not so smart if you can't take a super gifted athlete and score points. And they come from dumb, moderately smart, or super smart. You got to win with any sort of athletic person in front of you. That's on Stefanski if he can't get a coach ready. That quarterback out of Oregon, drafted in the 3rd round, he's a 5-year starter in college football. He played for a team that was expected to win the national championship or at least compete for it, and they did. I mean, the kid knows how to play. You drafted him, let him run. Let the horse run. That's what I'm saying. Give him the stripped down version of the book, whatever he's proved competency on, let him run with that version.
But you know what? It's easy for us to say that. I'm looking more at like him keeping his job. Now, I think that he don't want to go so fast to get this kid in there and he end up getting spooked or he end up getting hurt or anything that might possibly happen. I think that would kind of mess up his job. But I think that
so you think Stefanski is coaching scared as well as Flacco's playing scared?
I think so. I think Flacco likes Stefanski, and I think that he doesn't want. He fears, he fears possibly the inevitable of him losing his job. But I look at it this way because I was kind of scared of him losing his job or getting fired. But I look at it this way: at the end of the day, we have to get somebody in there that got the testicular fortitude to do things, and in most cases, it's always that new person. But that person that's been getting all these champs, you got to realize this is the best continuity we have ever had as a franchise since we started back up in '99. You know what I'm saying? We haven't had this type of continuity with a team before. We always get the guy, he comes in, he stinks it up, or he doesn't do 3 and whatever, 3 and ever, win 3 games, 4 games, and then we get rid of him that year. We kept Stefanski. And overall, he's done a better job than most, that we had. I don't think, other than Henson, I think that's his name. Other than him, I thought he would have done a great job if we had kept him.
Well, let me toss. Yeah, no, let me toss this at you real quick. We're on the phone with Sal Harris. Sal's been joining us for live Cleveland Browns watch parties. That's kind of fun. We watch the Browns and talk about all the games at the same time. Oh, geez, I had the point and then I lost it as I went to the segue. The last point you were making, Sal, where was I going with this?
Continuity.
Yeah, continuity. We are so close to being a 2-1 team. How differently does 2-1 feel? Now, before you answer that, we are so close to being an 0-3 team. How does that feel for continuity? I mean, we are talking one singular play or a cluster of similar plays. Look, the Browns scored all 3 times in the last 3.5 minutes of 2 field goals and a touchdown. It all came in 3.5 minutes. We could be 2-1 if we made that kick. We could be 0-3 if we don't get that kick. And so would we be calling for Stefanski's job? I mean, it's a razor thin margin that we're dealing with here, but when you snatch defeat from the jaws of victory, it does feel good to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. And it seems like there's signs of growth. Quinshon appears to be the real deal. There's an energy and a toughness. We ain't going to lose this game. Or what do you say? We ain't losing. We're not losing this, like yelling on the, like energy and a culture shift. This guy came in from the Cleveland, from the Ohio State Buckeyes. They won a national championship. He's not going to sit through a shit losing season. Myles Garrett's the best in the business. He's sick of this shit. Turn it around already. It seems like we're there. And remember, JOK also posted a cryptic message about possibly returning. No idea what that means, but could you imagine adding JOK to Carson Schweisinger back there? Oh my God, exactly. So, I mean, Sal, this is maybe the most excited I've been probably since we were the dirty Dan Sorensen helmet-to-helmet hit away from beating the Chiefs and going to the AFC Championship with Miles, Baker, Landry, and Chubb. This is the most excited I've been. It's been a mess ever since that moment.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but you know what? It's all about your people that you have in there. So I'll give you an example. So just say if Judkins was there for the Cincinnati game, we had problems rushing the ball, right?
Yeah.
So that would have been a game changer for that game. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
But now we have him. We got the other guys there. We got other people that's speaking up in that locker room. You got people that believe in what Kevin Stefanski is his vision. And that's all it takes. If you got a group of guys that believe in your vision and they're willing to work hard and they're willing to die for each other out there, on that field, like the way I saw those guys play, we're going to be in a lot of games that we probably shouldn't be in.
The defense is doing it.
Have the opportunity to win.
Agreed. The defense is just lights out. That's the type of team I played for in high school. We were an incredible defensive squad. And I'm so honored that I got to learn and I got to play and I got to excel and I got to be a part of something so nice. That what the Browns are doing, they're running these stunts. And that's what we did so well. You would dart me in or you'd X me out. Either you'd call it in the huddle or my linebackers, we had a thing because they knew my defensive coach had an understanding and we spoke and we knew at any point, if you want to run a stunt, you can, because you know why? Because we earned it. I had one thing on my plate as a defensive end, like Myles Garrett. If I'm playing defensive end, my number one task is nothing gets between me and the sideline. Nothing goes to my right-hand side. I am a wall right here. Nothing goes on this side. I will mangle a mess of people before I'll allow that to happen. And if I darted in, the linebacker who took my spot, they knew that their responsibility was to not let anything go between them and the sideline. So we never screwed up our assignment. And because we were so keyed into what we were doing, we put pressure on these other teams like you wouldn't believe. It was a thing of beauty. And I've been waiting my whole life for the Browns to show the same energy. And we're finally getting it through 3 games right now. But we're going to play the Lions, and it's the unstoppable force meets the immovable object. How does it play out, Sal?
I think the only way we have a chance is if, once again, our defense is going to have to be stellar. and the offense is going to have to muster something up. You gotta muster some up for these guys. You know, you gotta make it. Judy has to get the ball. That's the short and narrow of it. Judy has to get the ball. The other guy, the new guy we got, that's
Isaiah Bond. Isaiah Bond.
Yeah, we gotta get him.
And you know what? By any means necessary, you know, they don't need to be 15, 25 yards downfield. Get them on some slants, some 10-yard ins, some 10-yard outs, a button hook. Just get them touching it, get them in the flow of the game. Maybe they can shake a, you know, hip toss a defender and take it 10 more yards. But yeah, they got to get it to those playmakers. You're right, because they haven't been proving the ability to do so. We did with Jameis Winston. We did with Flacco the first time around. Why can't we this time?
I mean, we lack the balance, man. That's the whole thing. But Flacco's like passing the ball 40 times a game, man. That's ridiculous. So we have to get that balance. Once we get that balance, and I mean, Flacco just has to. I mean, with that Bond kid, that kid's fast, man. The interception play where he threw the interception, the Bond kid was ahead of everyone, and I was like, man, if he had only threw it a little bit further, he would have got a touchdown.
Yep. I felt the same way watching it live. It's like, it was right. But you know, it's easy for us to say the pocket's collapsing. You're on your left foot, not your right. You were looking at another read at that particular second. It's not like you can see everything at every exact moment. It's very easy to Monday morning quarterback. It is. But it's just a results driven league. You just haven't been putting points on the board this whole season. You know, it's not just one, it's not just two, it's not just three, but look, these players are coming into their own and they're getting better. They're getting more comfortable. I see room for improvement, but I am concerned that if we can't roll this out of the pocket with our depleted offensive tackle situation and the fact that we don't have not Shanahan, who was our Callahan. Bill Callahan is our offensive line coach. We took a big dip when Callahan left. And I don't know that we've ever really figured out the offensive line since. We need him back in the worst way. But we need to get that stabilized. I don't know if there's any free agents or people on the practice squad, or if we can make any trades, trade away some future draft capital. I mean, we've been known to be aggressive. Why not go make some trades? Try to get some depth of some players that you've had your eye on, that you've, you know, athletic, but they don't have an opportunity to play at the moment. So we'll trade you a 5th round pick or something. Like, we got to stabilize and beef this lineup immediately because the rest of our team looks competent. It looks like we have enough to get it done. We got playmakers and Joku and Fanin and Tillman. Like, they've shown flashes. Sampson and even Ford. Ford can hit some home runs. But Quinshon, Judkins, we can score some points. We just need to shore up that offensive line. But what do you think is going to happen when we play the Lions then? An incredible offense versus an incredible defense.
I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. And I think it's going to be kind of reminiscent of this game. I can't see them scoring like a whole bunch of points on us. The biggest thing with the offense is they need to be able to give the defense a breather, man. You know, at least give them a breather. I think that would help out. If we could pull it off, we could possibly pull it off. I don't think that the Lions are just this great team. I think they're good. I don't think they're just this great team. I think they're very beatable, and I think they'll come into the game thinking that they're just going to whoop the Browns, and that'll help us out even more.
You might be right about that.
When you look at balance, we should be like that team. When you look at a team, we should be like that team. Offensively, balance. They have a great running game. They got a two-headed monster with their running game. They got Montgomery and I think Swift is the guy.
Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah. Oh, Gibb and Montgomery, I think.
Yeah.
But you know, and they have St. Brown.
Amon-Ra.
They got that kid. Yeah.
And that's not their only good receiver. They got some talented players.
Yeah, the tight end too. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So it's going to be every team that we've played has had Super Bowl aspirations, and the other team had Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins. So, you know, this has been right out of the bat, right out of the gauntlet. It's been, It's been battles, but look, it's the NFL. Every week's going to be a battle. No excuses. Like, we should be the team other teams fear. Let's go. We are the team. We are the defense that the other offenses fear. We've earned it. We just got to get that offense clicking. And if Kevin Stefanski's allegedly the quarterback whisperer, buddy, man, you got to get it figured out, because Andrew Berry saved his ass, but you got to, Andrew Berry saved his job. And I said, good, whoever he picks, I'm fine with it, because we're closer to either knowing if he can do the job or if we run him out of town. That's exactly what I said during the draft over and over again. He saved his job. Stefanski hasn't. I might be saying there could be a situation where if Stefanski can't get something out of this offense, maybe it's time for another coach. And Andrew Berry, congratulations. You gave us 8 or 9 starters in this draft. That is unbelievable. And you navigated the horrible Baker Mayfield decision and the horrible Deshaun Watson situation, because you know what? If you're going to give Stefanski several years of extra opportunities and Andrew Berry several extra years of extra opportunities, why couldn't you do that for Baker Mayfield? Why did it have to be like that? Did it really have to go down that way? So I've had some animosity over that decision, but I'd say Andrew Berry's redeemed himself, but Stefanski, he's the offensive whisperer, man. He's got to show us offense, or else he needs to go. He drafted Shedeur. He drafted Dillon. Put one of them in. And if Flacco can't put points on the board and you can't get it out of the people that you picked along with Andrew Berry, I don't know. I'd say you got to go, bro. I don't think that's too harsh.
I agree with that, because, you can't expect the special teams to be lights out like this. This is just amazing. I mean, I can't recall the special teams playing like this in a long time. It's been amazing. Like, I was talking to a guy. I was like, the last time we had a good special team, we had Tommy Tupa. The last time we had like a good special team unit, we had Tommy Tupa and we had Eric Metcalf. 2 points Tupa. I'm aging myself.
2-point Tupa. Hey, here's you mentioned Eric Metcalf.
Hi, this is Eric Metcalf, and you're watching Unhappy Hour.
Thanks to Eric Metcalf for being so generous there. We also had Phil Dawson. Philly D was clutch. Philly D got it done. But yeah, from the punter position, Bajorquez and some of these things, and Josh Cribbs, Eric Metcalf. We've had here and there, but like rarely is it all together at once. That's what you need to catch lightning in a bottle. And when these games are coming down to the final play, the final series, one drive, why not us? Why not this year? Why can't we turn it around? Of course we can. Of course we can. So that's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see a little bit of aggression from the front office to go try to pluck away. Remember, we got Wyatt Teller for a 5th-round pick or something. We'll trade in season. See, look around the league at the practice squads and go, we were thinking about drafting you. You're sitting as a backup. We'd like to trade for. Can we give you got him in the 7th? Can we give you a 6th for him? Something, because you got to add some complementary pieces on that line to help the running game and to help the quarterback get it done to those receivers and the playmakers. So it's going to be a good test for both the defense and the offense this week. And I'm super excited, Sal.
I know. How about the Cavs, man? You see what the Cavs are doing?
Tell me about the new signing and how that's going to help them. They plucked a major player off of the Pacers.
Yeah, they got the center from the Pacers, and they also got Killian. What's the guy name? I can't think of the guy name, but they got a point guard.
Are you thinking about Lonzo Ball?
No. They got another guy.
Oh, I don't know. I got to pull my Cavs roster up. I'm still thinking about the Buckeyes, thinking about the Browns, and thinking about the Tribe right now. I'm trying to learn all the new guys' names on the Tribe. I'm like, who are you guys?
I know, right? Even the Buckeyes, man. Look here. Woo, Buckeyes. The Buckeyes look scary, man. I think this is reminiscent of Eddie George, Joey Galloway, that team.
That was a great 96, I believe. Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're in the driver's seat.
David Boston, Joey Galloway. Who else was on that team? Terry Glenn, was he on that team?
they all blur together for me. Even with the Indians teams, it's like, wait, was Baerga there? Hold on. Was that Roberto Alomar? Okay, Vizquel. Wait a minute. Who was it? I know we had David Justice and Kenny Lofton and Manny Ramirez and Albert Bell, but wait, not all at the same time. Hold on. Juan Gonzalez was what year? Like, it all sort of blurs together into, hold on, what year? Is that 98 or 96, 95? No, 97. And you're like, I don't know. I don't have the photographic memory for that. But yeah, the Buckeyes look incredible. This is such an amazing time. Defending national champs, still in first place, looking good coming off of a bye. The Browns showing some promise with a whole bunch of young talent. Indians come from behind 15 and a half games, the first team to ever take first place after trailing by that much. This is unprecedented stuff. The Cavaliers, a legitimate MVP contender, and Donovan Mitchell, and a championship caliber team that should have went further last year, except we had to be humbled. We had to learn. We had to grow. And they wouldn't have learned sitting on the bench. So they have the experience now, and they have the taste in their mouth, the bitter taste of defeat. And so, the Cavs are on their way. But, geez, everywhere you look, it's just today's a great day to be a Cleveland sports fan. Maybe the best day ever.
It is. It hands down, it is. It is.
Sal, let me exclude the Cleveland Cavaliers Game 7 championship, because that energy of that championship was probably number one. But I mean, like, just a day that a championship didn't occur might be up there as one of the best days in Cleveland sports history. The totality of everything and the trajectories and expectations.
It is good. You know, being a Cleveland fan, what people don't really understand that's a part of other fandoms is it's all about hope, man.
Yeah.
We hope that we're able to get past it. It don't matter how good our team is. We're not cocky enough to go, oh yeah, we're gonna win it all, because we're Cleveland fans, and we understand that that's never in the case for us. That's never the way it always works for us. You can have a lead, you know. You can have a lead and then something bad will happen. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, we're Cleveland fans, and we understand that. You know, any other fan would go crazy. I don't think a New York fan could take what we have been through.
They've been very spoiled with championships from a lot of different teams. We've been hardened, battle tested in the fires. We've been forged in flames. We've been thrown into the fire. We've been stomped on. It's been a rough go as a Cleveland sports fan. There's no doubt about it. And so we have to maintain some sort of level of, on The Simpsons, Bart and Lisa are talking and says, Dad, we're the MTV generation. We feel neither highs nor lows. He says, oh, really? What's that like? They just shrug their shoulders. That's the epitome of neither high nor low. It's okay. It's not the worst, but whatever. You can't allow yourself to get too excited, because we've been so let down so many times. But the euphoria of letting it rip when Rajai Davis hit that home run in 2016 to almost beat the Cubs in Game 7. I mean, I raised my arms and I cheered and I dropped to my knees and I got lightheaded, and I had such a moment of it was a spiritual moment that almost happened, and it was taken from us. And it's like, you know, pure sports euphoria is rare, which is why that Cavs title in 16 was so incredible. But yeah, we're seeing stuff on the field that gives us tons of hope that we've corrected some glaring problems. And with the Tribe pitching, they've corrected the glaring problem that their offense is sporadic, hits at a low average, not a ton of pop, but they're smart, they're sharp, they hustle, they steal bases, they're clever. They're situational. They can bunt. They can advance runners. They can get the sacrifice fly to get they play small ball, and that can win you games. Pitching in small ball can win you a World Series, just like how playing tough defense and keeping a low score can win it for you in the NFL. You know, so I mean, we're positioned for some really good things here across the board, and of course, the Buckeyes can score at will, and so can the Cavaliers.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, this is.
And then when you look at college football, I don't see a team that I'm scared of. You know, I don't see a team that's like frightening. I was watching the Nebraska-Michigan game, and I was like, really? Like, oh.
Well, I think they say something like, if you don't see the monster, you are the monster. If you can't find the monster, you are the monster. And I'm probably messing up that quote. I've probably heard it 100 different ways, but what is it like in gambling? If you can't see the mark in the room, you are the mark in the room.
You are the mark. Yeah.
Like you are the prey. So I think Ohio State is defending champions with the pedigree and the way that they took care of business against Texas. And, they're so loaded with talent. They're so consistently coached and groomed and organized that, next man up mentality, like this is the monster in the room. This is the team to look out for. So, yeah, it's one thing to creep up from behind someone. It's another to be the hunted. But I'll tell you what, I mean, I'd prefer this rather than be on the outside looking in. But yeah, knowing that there's not a behemoth team with pedigree and just seems to be lining up for an epic battle at the end. Maybe it's more like that 2008 Indian season where all we had to do was beat the Boston Red Sox in the 3-1 series. We were up, and then we would go ahead and play the Colorado Rockies in a cakewalk to win our first ever World Series, but we couldn't close it at 3-1. And like that was such a winnable championship. Not to take away from that team, but they weren't fantastic. We were great. We had the Cy Young pitcher. Like we were good. Like we were anchored by Cease. Like we were ready to go. And that was taken from us. So, it's interesting when you are the team to beat versus like you're just kicking and scraping, scratching and clawing just to find any advantage to get you a couple of inches to just, can I sneak into the playoffs? Can I change the culture and reset the trajectory of where we're headed? It's called hope. And it's called grit and determination. And I just think America needs more of that right now, which is why I like talking sports from time to time.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Because we need to get away from, it's like your happy place. To put it in better perspective, it's a happy place, that we're allowed to go to, and we can settle down and we can take that deep breath, and we can just, for an hour or three, we can just take in what's going on and root for our team, and and not root for the team that we hate, so it's just that type of deal.
Yeah, as Cleveland comedian Mike Polk Jr. so famously said in his Factory of Sadness skit, he said, "Now look, I know there are more important things going on in this world, and you are supposed to be my pleasant distraction from those things." Yeah, because that's the truth. Like there's so much going on. I watched David Fry take that fastball to the face, and I'm like, I cannot handle any more trauma this week. Please, no more trauma. This has been a long month. No more trauma, and just seeing him get a 99-mile-an-hour fastball to the face is just, that was so tough to see, Sal.
That's crazy. That's almost worse than that one kid. I want to say it was like about 3 years ago that caught that hockey puck.
Gosh. Yeah, that stuff's brutal. And baseball made changes to keep the baseball from going into the lower level. They have netting up now. It does take a component away from the game. It's mostly see-through. It's okay-ish, but it really does remove you from it. But it protects you against that super rare but super violent, ugly scene that none of us want to see that.
Right.
But
it's
yeah,
like a 1 in a million chance of it happening, but you don't want it to be that one chance that it happens at all.
Well, you've seen it where fans will fall out of the upper deck of they'll go reaching over the deck and fall over. Nobody wants that to happen either. And it's, you're constantly trying to stay ahead of the crowd in those cases. But yeah, prayers to David Fry, man. Is there a determination? Do we know for sure? Because I thought from some angles it looked like it went straight into his face, and other angles looked like it bounced off the bat. And I think Matt Underwood called it like it was fair tipped, or then he said, or did it go straight into his? Do we know, did it go directly into him, or did it just at the edge clip off of his bat? Do we know for certain? I don't know.
That is crazy.
Yeah, it was rough. And David Fry, you know, he was an all-star. He was supposed to be contributing for us, but it's got to be next man up now. I couldn't imagine him coming back soon. I think there's going to be some severe problems.
Yeah, psychological problems. Even if he was to come back, psychologically, he wouldn't be ready to come back.
That was my problem.
Like
that was my problem with baseball. I started swinging and stepping out of the batter's box. I didn't like being too close to that baseball. I didn't. That was my thing.
Yeah.
If I could have worn a different helmet that would have protected my eye and my jaw, and I know they make them now. If I could have wore something like that would protect my eyes and my jaw and my cheekbone, you know, I could probably handle something. I would wear elbow pads and like if something goes off the knee or off the, like I would protect myself on the left side, swinging righty, but just I would need something to protect my face. I would wear a damn batting helmet in there. But yeah, that part always creeped me out about the sport. I didn't like it. I'd rather battle a 350-pound dude than deal with a 87 mile an hour wild pitch accident that slips away.
And it don't even have to be that fast. If it's even, doesn't even have to be that fast, and it'll still like wreck you.
Exactly. So prayers to David Fry. Guardians play again tonight, and it's a great time to be a Cleveland sports fan. Sal, any final words as we wrap this one up, sir?
No, man. This is probably one of the best weekends. I pray that we have another one.
Let's go.
It's coming up weekend.
The Tribe are getting it done. The Guardians are making some short work of. Oh, it's a fantastic time. Yeah, let's just, you know, and we got to watch the weather in Cleveland too. There might be some rain forecast. We'll see how that goes. Games rescheduled, double headers, games being played at 1 a.m. in front of limited audience. Like there's a variety of ways things could happen depending on weather. So, you know, pay attention because every game is super crucial with the Astros, with the Red Sox, with the Tigers. This is down to the wire. And I'm here for it. The playoffs, in my opinion, Sal, have already started. Just consider the playoffs are here. It's an extra bonus week of playoff baseball. So I'm here for it. And we will talk with you again soon. Maybe this Sunday. I'll let you know if we end up being able to do the live stream on Sunday again. Are you planning on being around or being out and about?
I don't know. I think I'll probably be taking my mom home. So I'll be around.
Okay. Well, I'm a bit of a coin flip, but a maybe, a strong maybe, and a couple of other factors, but definitely maybe. But I'll keep you guys posted and let you know if we're going to do the watch again. It's been fun the first 3 weeks because we're doing the same thing we'd be doing. We're watching the game and we're talking about the game in real time. That's all you're doing at a sports bar. You're talking to your friend. They're watching their team. You're watching the same team. You're watching your fantasy team. You're looking at this. Oh, do you see that great play over there? It's fun to do that and connect to you in Georgia, to people in Ohio. You know, Izzy in California will jump in, or we'll have William over in Ohio jumping in, and it's great. It's great. So, all right, Sal, thanks again. We will talk to you again soon, buddy. You have a great rest of your day.
All right, you too, bro. You too.
All right, peace out. There goes Sal, everybody. We're going to wrap up this episode. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you. I love you, and we'll talk to you again soon. Please make sure that you reset this. We're going to recalibrate and do our TNAM Daily Show, unpacking the news. We're going to throw the garbage can. We're going to empty the garbage can upside down, and we're going to rifle through the rubbish, separating fake news from fact. We're going to talk about the things that people are talking about, and we're going to try to make sense of how we're supposed to feel about these things and who's lying to us and for what purpose. And what do you do if? These are interesting times to be. What is that Chinese proverb? It's both a blessing and a curse. May you live in interesting times. And we do. So we're going to talk about that today at noon, about 48 minutes from now. So I'm going to sign out. I appreciate it. Thank you, Sal. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I appreciate you. I love you. And we will talk to you again soon. Take care, everybody. Peace. Peace out.